Cardano's about to pull a little coin that could moment, and you're not going to believe where the track ends. So here's the deal. I was minding my own business, scrolling through the usual crypto doom scroll, when the modern investor drops a bombshell. He's flat out certain that ADA can sprint from 65 cents to 10 whole dollars. 10. As in add a zero and then some. Right? Now my coffee nearly escaped my mug because that's a 1,420% leap. Now you could bungee jump off of the Burj Khalifa and still not match that drop to ground thrill. Now instantly my brain's screaming, is he off his rocker or am I about to miss the last rocket on the launch pad? All right, stick with me because by the end of this conversation, you're going to know exactly why some big brains, and yours truly after way too much chart staring, think that Cardano might just make that moonshot. And hey, if you want to see the play-by-play in real time, join our free crypto Discord server. The link is in the description down below and it's wide open, waiting for you to slide on in. All right then, let's picture this, right? ADA is lounging at a modest 65 cents, sulking after a 3% drop in the last 24 hours or so, and 7.9% drop in the week. Now, it's like the coin woke up on the wrong side of the blockchain. Right? Meanwhile, of course, the community is looking at that $10 mountain, squinting, thinking, dude, are you sure? Because to climb that peak, we need, a 14 bagger, right? That sounds insane. Until Charles Hoskinson casually tweets that $3, $5, even $10 are entirely on the table as the ecosystem matures. Now, he says it in the way that you might say, yeah, I'll grab a coffee later, like it's no biggie. Now, that nonchalant swagger from the founder himself is the crypto equivalent of Michael Jordan telling you the Bulls are winning another ring. You kind of sit up. Now, why the sudden confidence then? Well, for starters, Cardano's been flirting with two titans, Bitcoin and Ripple. On one side, the Lace wallet, kind of the Swiss Army knife in ADA land, if you will, just popped out version 1.22 beta. Now, the big headline here is that native Bitcoin support. You can now stash, send, and flex your BTC right inside the Lace wallet. It's the first step in a genuine multi-chain pivot, right? And Hoskinson gave it a cheeky, pun intended, I guess, if you follow the Cheeky Crypto channel, thumbs up on the X platform with a told ya, right? Just imagine Apple News dropping iPhone now runs kind of Android apps. It's that level of kind of boundary bending. And on the other side of the dance floor, Cardano execs have been DMing Ripple about bringing the RLUSD stablecoin over. Now, those talks started back in November of 2024 when Hoskinson and Ripple CTO David Schwartz shared lattes in some boardroom. Right? Fast forward to January and the calls are ongoing, aiming to park RLUSD on midnight. That's Cardano's hush-hush privacy sidechain. Now, if that lands, you're looking at ADA turning into a legit multi-chain hub, kind of like Singapore for digital assets. It's super clean, super plugged in, and ridiculously strategic. Let's slow the hype train and talk problems, because there are plenty. First, the market's mood swings, right? ADA already kind of rocketed from 30 cents to over $1.30 in late 2024 before tumbling into this stubborn channel. So think of it as climbing three, rungs up a ladder, slipping on a banana peel and hanging midair, right? Cobra Vanguard over on TradingView sees a textbook bullish flag, resistance lines standing guard at $1.30, $1.10 and at 90 cents, while support clamps out at around 63 to 56 cents. So the flag's upper trend line is basically the doorman, right? Break him and, well, the next stop on Cobra's map is $1.3387. Sounds neat, but traders know that flags can morph into fake outs faster than you can say whipsaw. And meanwhile, of course, you've got macro headwinds that could slap us silly, right? If Bitcoin sneezes, alts will catch the plague. Regulation, well, always looming like a pop quiz that you forgot to study for. And Cardano's biggest criticism? slow rollout of dApps. It still echoes, right? Blockchain upgrades, they are complex, throwing cross-chain bridges, privacy layers, and stablecoins. And you're not just juggling flaming swords, you're doing it whilst on a unicycle. And yet, here's where the story tilts, right? Remember Ethereum's London hard fork or Solana's big DeFi boom? Tokens exploded because narratives lined up with tangible upgrades. Now, Cardano's narrative right now is interoperability plus privacy plus staking. Lace's, at least the Lace wallet's Bitcoin support and the RL-USD courtship, they aren't just vaporwave, right? They're actually shipping code and signing NDAs. And staking? Well, you can stake to Cheeky Crypto, of course. There's a link for that in the description down below, and you could earn a nice passive income on your ADA holdings. If you're not staking, you're missing out. Check it out, linked below. Now, when it comes to staking, Hoskinson teased that Bitcoin staking is potentially coming to Cardano, which sounds like vegan bacon, but might actually taste amazing if it plays out that BTC rewards inside an ADA-centric wallet, right? That's new territory altogether. And then you've got Dan, right? The guy who lives rent-free in many Cardano bulls' heads that says $10 is absolutely his target. Now, he loves to remind us that ADA scraped past $3 in 2021 without half of today's tech or partnerships. So a kind of fresher, leaner Cardano hitting a market cap that high again isn't actually that far-fetched as TikTok Finance makes it out to be. And yes, we'd flirt with a multi-$100 billion valuation. But in a kind of full throttle alt season, when retail FOMO juices everything from dog coins to utility tokens, it really is not crazy. Remember when Dogecoin sniffed $90 billion? It's exactly that, but with utility. So let me share a quick anecdote then. Back in 2020, a buddy of mine bought ADA because the logo looked like fireworks. No joke. Right, a year later, he's sending me screenshots of 5-digit gains. And the lesson? Narratives beat logic when the crowd's euphoric. If mainstream media starts parroting Bitcoin staking on Cardano or Ripple stablecoin launches on midnight, well, the floodgates can swing wide, fundamentals or not. Still, timing is going to be the trickiest part, right? We're in that awkward pre-party stage where the DJ is setting up, but the room's half empty, right? ADA's price sagging this week kind of reflects traders' impatience for a breakout, right? Technicals, they scream consolidation. Fundamentals whisper breakout. Which side wins, right? The one that shouts the louder, right? In June, when the next upgrade hits, I'll be definitely glued to Lace's roadmap, because once full Bitcoin support exists beta, or exits beta, I should say, it signals that Cardano's devs can integrate, alien chains without breaking a sweat. That's when bigger fish, think institutions, will start taking notice. And here is a stat to chew on. Cardano's total value locked TVL hovered near $350 million at its 2022 peak. Today, it's clawing back above $250 million. If RL-USD goes live and liquidity bridges from the XRP ledger shows up, well, that TVL could snowball. Right? Every DeFi analyst knows TVL is investor catnip. So when the graph tilts north, influencers film victory dances and mainstream dollars follow. So where's the climax then, right? Picture a single tweet, RL-USD live on midnight. Bridge now open, right? 15 words, maybe less. Yeah, that's the kind of spark, right? Overnight volumes will spike, Lace wallet updates auto push to millions of desktops, and ADA's chart rips straight through the flag's roof. Traders scramble for entries, algorithms flip to kind of long bias, and the phrase ADA is the new ETH trends on X. Now that's the moment that all of this groundwork snaps into one crisp reality check. It's the kind of notification that makes you drop your phone on the kitchen floor, then sprint back to your desktop to confirm if it's real. And of course, let's not ignore the skeptic in the room. $10, it means a market cap dancing near $500 billion if circulating supply stays consistent. That's kind of a mammoth, right? Bigger than Visa, flirting with JP Morgan numbers. But remember, market cap, it only really measures price multiplied by supply. And supply in Cardano's case is fixed in advance, so it's not dripping out like fresh shares. If alt season mania revisits us, valuations can detach from sanity faster than you can say .com bubble. Personally, I treat the target like a marathon finish line. Inspiring, but not the only reason to run. Right, between 65 cents and $10 lies a treasure trove of milestones, breaking past $1.30 wall, reaching previous all-time highs at $3.10, then cruising to $5, right? Each hurdle conquered sends fresh headlines, which drags in new capital, right? Linear growth? It's boring, right? Crypto moves in lurches, and we only need a couple of giant lunges. And so where does this leave us, that's you and me, on this random Friday? Well, I'm watching for three things, right? Lace wallet adoption stats, RLUSD integration updates, and Bitcoin staking dev notes. If two of those three hit major progress by Q3, the narrative kind of solidifies. We'll hash it out live in the Discord. Seriously, get in there because the memes are spicy and the whale alerts come in hot. Okay, let's wrap this up, right? Cardano is currently the hungry contender training in the shadows. The fundamentals, cross-chain wallet, Ripple Alliance talks Bitcoin rewards are like protein shakes and 8-hour gym sessions, right? The chart pattern is the tight coil waiting to spring. Will it explode to $10? Stranger things have happened, right? And are there risks? Always. But if you're the kind of type who loves calculated kind of moonshots baked by tech advancements instead of pure hopium, well, ADA just might have a couple of seats closer to the front row.